If you're looking to make huge improvements into your life, it doesn't matter what you do every once in a while. It's what you do every day with consistency. And sometimes these small habits and behaviors can have a major impact into your life. So in this video, I'm gonna share 7 smallest changes that I made in my life that has led to the greatest impact on my well-being, my health, my relationships, and my career and productivity. These habits, when done consistently, will have a major or compound effect in your life. So I look forward to continuing these habits in the year 2021, and I welcome you to try any of the habits which you found intriguing or helpful. Let's dive in. Take at least 10 to 15 minutes to be still. Now this is a piece of advice which is easy to ignore or look over, but I find when I give myself the time to be quiet and do nothing, I always appreciate it. So meditating or going for a walk or listening to soothing music or simply doing nothing, something we rarely get enough of, right? Especially these days when we're constantly on phone or watching Netflix or talking to our spouse, right? We're always doing something. Just taking out 10 minutes of your time to be quiet, to be still, to open yourself up, right? And to be grateful. Those are the moments that are gonna make life worth it. I know this is something you think you don't need it, but this is truly the thing you need in your life right now. Trust me. So the next change I recommend you to make is to carry a water bottle everywhere you go. Now I know this one is so simple, but then it's just that nudge, that change in your environment, right? That reminds you to continue to stay hydrated, to drink enough water. You know, this is something that most of the people neglect, but then we're supposed to be drinking 8 ounces glass of water every day. And when I was younger, I definitely did not need that, right? Whenever I carry a water bottle close by, and let's say if I'm going to the gym or I'm going to the coffee shop or going around my house, if I have the water bottle close by, it's just easier to drink and stay hydrated. I think it's incredible that more and more people these days want to eat in a healthier way. And when I was a kid, I used to have french fries and cola all day, every day. And I actually did do that. But then at some point, you kind of just grew up and you want to adopt healthy lifestyle, right? So I started to do some research, and if I can be totally honest with you, it's heavily influenced from different YouTube channels I was following. One of the problems I feel like with looking up information online was that everyone's definition of what healthy is a little bit different, right? So for example, somebody might say don't bring junk food into the home, like chips and chocolates, or don't eat those grains because those aren't good for you, or don't have fruits because they have sugar in them, right? And I think it's easy to get caught up in being healthy, and sometimes for some people it leads to disappointment, and sometimes they think that they're not good enough, or they're not trying hard enough, or they don't have willpower enough. So what we do is that we tend to overthink, and it actually creates an unhealthy relationship with our food. Remember, we choose to eat the food that we do, right? Because we think it's healthy, because we think it's good for us, right? But what definitely is not healthy mentally is constantly giving ourselves hard time for the food choices we make, right? And feeling like that we are not perfect because realistically no one is. You might have heard the slogan, nourish the cells and the soul. It means is that on one hand, yes, it is very important to make sure to nourish your cells, right? So to eat food that is wholesome, to get in some physical activity, and doing these things because you feel good, right? Not because you have to do it. So it's just not about nourishing your cells, but it's equally important to make sure to nourish your soul as well. What I mean by that is allowing yourself to have some treat meals for no reason other than you just feel like it, right? So what I usually do is that I try to stay healthy the whole week, and then I eat cheat meals on weekends, right? Like where I eat pizza, a burger, fries, or whatever I feel like. The whole philosophy is that not giving ourselves a very hard time for the food choices we make, right? And my philosophy is very simple, and I know that a majority of the time I stay healthy, so I'm not gonna give myself a hard time at all for some treat meals, right? And it's more about finding a balance and just taking a step back and looking at the big picture. I work in 50-minute blocks of time. This is something which is scientifically proven now, and all the high performers work in this way. So what does that mean? So at the end of 50 minutes, my alarm goes off, I stand up and I do this thing called release tension, set intention. Right? After every 50 minutes, I get up and I just move my body, right? And I just walk around, take 10 deep breaths, right? Drink some water, and I come back to my workstation. And as soon as I come back, I again set intention and I ask myself this question, okay, so what is my intention for the next 50 minutes, right? Or what must be done in the next 50 minutes, right? So this is how I get clarity for the next 50 minutes. And it's how I go about my day, and especially when I'm working on my biological prime time, right? A real game changing for me, because I do this, those days are one of my most productive days. So try this out and just work in 50 minutes blocks of time and you will see the difference. So this one is really simple. The 2-minute rule was the concept put forward by David Allen in his book Getting Things Done. Idea here is that if you have any pending tasks that can be done in less than 2 minutes, then you should do it right away, right? So whenever I notice that I have some tasks that can be done in next 2 minutes, then I just remind myself this mantra by David Allen, try to do it right away, right? For example, putting a coffee mug or a bowl on the kitchen table or filling up your water bottle. This way I save myself from procrastinating, and I always find myself in a well-organized and tidy room. So I've made a practice of reading a book every week, and it has really changed my life. So let me share what some of the most successful people in the world thinks about the books, right? Warren Buffett says that he used to spend 5 to 6 hours a day reading 5 newspapers. Bill Gates says that he used to read about 50 books a year, mainly on health, business, and engineering. Mark Zuckerberg says that he reads books to educate and learn about different backgrounds and cultures of people. I can't emphasize enough how important reading is, and I'm sure there are plenty of reasons that you need to read as well, but you need to have your own reason. And you need to know why you're going to read, right? I mean, is it because you want to be entertained, or is it because you want to learn new things and grow? Or is it because you want to have new ideas of how to improve your life, right? So the closer you have clarity of why you're going to read a book, the more likely it is that you're gonna be a successful reader. I used to get distracted responding to emails all day long, and it can really ruin your productivity. Another tip is to get into the habit of scheduling certain times to manage your inbox. So anytime outside of that, consider your inbox out of the service, right? And the same can be said for any social media you might use. And this way you're not getting distracted, and you can actually focus on accomplishing those goals that really matters throughout the day. These are 7 small changes that I'm going to carry forward in this year 2021. All of these changes, when done consistently, will have a greater impact in your life too. And if you have any tips and tricks of your own, I welcome you to share it with everybody in the comment section below. And if you feel like you're stuck with a never-ending to-do list, and you're having a hard time to manage your time effectively, then I will recommend you to watch my video on how to manage time more effectively. If you enjoyed watching this video, it always means a lot to me when you give it a thumbs up. And thanks a lot for watching. Pick up Pearls, signing off. I will see you in my next video.